For fans of Jimin, there has always been something deeply comforting about one place in Busan. Not a concert venue, not a luxury building connected to celebrity life, but a warm cafe, quietly standing in the city where everything once began. A place where memories of Jimin seem to breathe through every corner. And now, as conversations surrounding Jimin's recent activities following the Arirang tour in America continue to grow among fans, many ARMYs are once again turning their attention to a place that has long felt like a second home to those who love him: the cafe owned by Jimin's father. Known today as ZM Millennial in Busan, the cafe has become far more than simply a place to drink coffee. For many fans traveling from around the world, it represents something emotional, a quiet connection to Jimin's roots, his family, and the story of how a young boy from Busan became one of the most beloved artists on the planet. Previously known as Magnet before changing its name due to trademark-related matters, the cafe continues to attract fans who simply want to feel closer to Jimin in a meaningful way. And recently, whispers among fans have sparked renewed excitement. Could something special be quietly shaping there? As Jimin's America schedule wrapped up, many fans began wondering whether Busan might soon welcome him home again, even if only briefly. And naturally, attention quickly shifted toward the place most associated with family warmth and heartfelt moments: his father's cafe. Of course, no official statement has confirmed any large celebration, but among fans, one idea has continued to spread emotionally. What if Jimin's father is preparing a meaningful welcome? Not something extravagant, not a celebrity event, but something deeply personal. Something that simply says, "Welcome home, Jimin." And honestly, for longtime ARMYs, that idea feels emotional for a reason. Because over the years, Jimin's family, especially his father, has quietly earned admiration among fans for their warm interactions and visible appreciation toward the people who support their son. Visitors who have traveled to Busan often share stories online about stepping inside the cafe and immediately feeling something different: a warmth, a sense of care, and above all, sincerity. Inside the cafe, fans can find special spaces dedicated to memories connected to Jimin. Gifts from ARMY, signed items, and meaningful displays have turned the location into more than a cafe. It feels like a living memory space built with appreciation. For many visitors, ordering a drink there is not the main experience. It is simply being in a place connected to Jimin's beginnings. The atmosphere itself tells a story of pride, a story of family, a story of support. Located in Busan's Namgu district, the cafe has become something close to a pilgrimage site for fans visiting South Korea. Many international ARMYs make it part of their travel plans, hoping to experience the place where Jimin's family presence still feels close. And among the most talked about details, Jimin's father himself. Many fans who visit the cafe have spoken warmly about moments when his father greeted guests, interacted kindly, or simply helped maintain the welcoming atmosphere the location is known for. That warmth matters, because for ARMY, supporting Jimin has never been only about performances or records. It has always been about the person behind the spotlight. The son who often speaks with sincerity, the artist who repeatedly reminds fans to stay healthy, rest well, and care for themselves. The performer who somehow balances global superstardom with quiet humility. So when fans imagine a moment where Jimin returns after demanding schedules overseas and perhaps finds something heartfelt waiting for him at home, it naturally becomes emotional. Imagine this: a quiet evening in Busan. The soft sound of conversations inside the cafe, fresh pastries arranged carefully near the counter, the familiar aroma of coffee drifting through the room, maybe the popular almond cream latte being prepared, maybe favorite desserts arranged more carefully than usual, not because cameras are coming, not because media is arriving, but simply because someone important may soon walk through the door, someone loved deeply, a son returning home. Of course, fans understand reality. Jimin's schedule is likely busy. global artists rarely have the luxury of long breaks after international events, and privacy matters deeply. Still, the emotional idea resonates with fans because it reflects something universal. No matter how famous someone becomes, home remains home, and parents remain parents. To millions, Jimin may be a global icon, a superstar, a performer admired across continents, but to his father, he is still simply Jimin, the son whose journey started years ago in Busan, the young child who once dreamed big, the young man whose success was built through hard work, sacrifice, and determination. And maybe that's what makes conversations surrounding a possible warm welcome feel so meaningful. Not because fans expect something dramatic, but because small moments often mean the most. A carefully prepared table, favorite drinks ready, a familiar smile, quiet pride. Sometimes love looks exactly like that. ARMYs especially understand this emotional side of Jimin's story because throughout his career, he has often spoken about gratitude toward members, toward fans, toward family. And whenever conversations about family emerge, fans often remember how deeply grounding those relationships seem to be for him. In many ways, Busan itself carries emotional meaning. It's not just Jimin's hometown, it represents beginnings. Before stadiums, before sold-out tours, before millions of fans worldwide, there was Busan. There was family, there were dreams. And today, there is still a cafe standing quietly, welcoming visitors who carry admiration for someone who changed their lives with music. That alone feels powerful. So while no official confirmation exists regarding any special celebration, one thing feels undeniable. If Jimin ever walks through those cafe doors again after a major overseas schedule, there will already be something waiting for him. Warmth, familiarity, and people who are proud, very proud. Because sometimes the biggest celebrations aren't loud at all. Sometimes they happen quietly, in the place that knew you before the world did. And for Jimin, fans believe that place may always be waiting in Busan. For many people, a cafe is simply a stop during a busy day, a place to grab coffee, a quick conversation, a quiet moment before moving on. But for countless fans of Jimin, the cafe owned by his father has slowly become something much more than that. It has become a place filled with meaning, a place where the distance between global superstar and hometown son somehow feels smaller. And perhaps that's why recent conversations surrounding his return after the Arirang tour in America have made fans emotional once again. Because when people think about where Jimin might find comfort after long schedules, exhausting flights, and endless public attention, one image quietly comes to mind: a warm cafe in Busan, a familiar environment, and family. Known today as ZM Millennial in Busan, the location has become legendary among ARMY for reasons that go far beyond celebrity curiosity. Fans don't only visit because it's connected to Jimin, they visit because the atmosphere feels personal. Over the years, stories shared online by visitors have painted a remarkably consistent picture. The space feels welcoming, calm, thoughtfully maintained, and above all, sincere. Inside the cafe, fans can find special spaces dedicated to memories connected to Jimin. Gifts from ARMY, signed items, and meaningful displays have turned the location into more than a cafe. It feels like a living memory space built with appreciation. For many visitors, ordering a drink there is not the main experience. It is simply being in a place connected to Jimin's beginnings. The atmosphere itself tells a story of pride, a story of family, a story of support. Located in Busan's Namgu district, the cafe has become something close to a pilgrimage site for fans visiting South Korea. Many international ARMYs make it part of their travel plans, hoping to experience the place where Jimin's family presence still feels close. And among the most talked about details, Jimin's father himself. Many fans who visit the cafe have spoken warmly about moments when his father greeted guests, interacted kindly, or simply helped maintain the welcoming atmosphere the location is known for. That warmth matters. Because for ARMY, supporting Jimin has never been only about performances or records. It has always been about the person behind the spotlight. The son who often speaks with sincerity. The artist who repeatedly reminds fans to stay healthy, rest well, and care for themselves. The performer who somehow balances global superstardom with quiet humility. So when fans imagine a moment where Jimin returns after demanding schedules overseas and perhaps finds something heartfelt waiting for him at home, it naturally becomes emotional. Imagine this, a quiet evening in Busan, the soft sound of conversations inside the cafe, fresh pastries arranged carefully near the counter, the familiar aroma of coffee drifting through the room, maybe the popular almond cream latte being prepared, maybe favorite desserts arranged more carefully than usual. The physical exhaustion of touring, the emotional pressure of being watched constantly. Success often looks glamorous from a distance, but fans understand that behind every stage moment lies sacrifice, long rehearsals, fatigue, jet lag, mental pressure, responsibility, which is why conversations about home feel especially emotional. Because everyone, no matter how successful, needs somewhere they can stop performing, a place where expectations disappear, a place where they do not need to be perfect. For Jimin, fans often imagine Busan as that emotional anchor, not because he says it often, but because hometowns carry memory, and memory matters. Busan holds pieces of a life that existed before global fame, before headlines, before sold-out stadiums, before history-making success. There were ordinary moments, school days, family meals, quiet streets, dreams that probably felt impossibly big at the time. No one could have predicted what would come next, not fully. Who could have imagined that a boy from Busan would one day become one of the most recognizable performers in the world, that millions would wait for updates, that arenas across continents would erupt with cheers at the sound of his name? And yet, despite everything, there remains something incredibly moving about the idea that somewhere in Busan, a father may still simply think, "My son must be tired." That thought alone feels deeply human, because behind every extraordinary story is often something beautifully ordinary: family love, support, pride, care. And perhaps that is what makes fans emotional about places like Zia Millionel. It represents continuity. No matter how massive the world becomes, some things stay the same: a hometown cafe, a welcoming atmosphere, people waiting with warmth instead of expectation. Of course, fans understand reality. Jimin values privacy, schedules are unpredictable, and public assumptions should always be approached respectfully. Still, the emotional symbolism remains powerful. Because even if fans never see a welcome event, even if nothing public happens at all, many believe something meaningful already exists there. A place prepared not for celebrity, but for family. And maybe, just maybe, that matters most. There is something strangely emotional about the idea of returning home, especially after months of movement. Airports, stages, hotels, schedules packed so tightly that days begin to blur together. For global artists like Jimin, life often moves at a speed most people can barely imagine. One city today, another country tomorrow, a rehearsal in the morning, interviews in the afternoon, performances at night, then another flight, another crowd, another moment where millions are watching. And while fans often celebrate the beautiful results of success, the performances, unforgettable moments, and emotional stages, many also understand something else. Success can be exhausting, especially for someone known for giving everything on stage. Jimin has built a reputation over the years as a performer who rarely does anything halfway. Precision, emotion, discipline. Fans have watched him spend years pushing himself to deliver performances that feel unforgettable. Sometimes elegant, sometimes powerful, sometimes heartbreakingly emotional, but always deeply intentional. And perhaps because fans know how much effort he pours into his work, Recent conversations about what might await him after the Arirang tour in America feel unexpectedly meaningful, not because of spectacle, not because anyone expects a grand public celebration, but because of something much simpler: comfort. There is something comforting about imagining Jimin stepping away from the intensity of international schedules and finding himself somewhere familiar, somewhere warm, somewhere quiet. And for many armies, that image naturally leads back to Busan, back to family, back to the cafe that has quietly become symbolic over the years. Jimin is not famous because of luxury. It's not famous because it tries to impress people. In fact, many fans describe its charm as the exact opposite: comfortable, peaceful, personal. That atmosphere matters more than people realize. Because for fans who visit, the experience often feels emotional in ways they didn't expect. Many have shared stories online about sitting quietly with coffee, looking around the cafe, and suddenly feeling overwhelmed. Not dramatically, not loudly, just emotionally. Because in those quiet moments, the reality settles in. This place knew Jimin before the world did, before millions of followers, before sold-out tours, before history-making performances, before becoming a global name. There was simply Park Jimin, a son, a student, a dreamer from Busan. And maybe that's what makes conversations surrounding his father feel especially touching. Parents often see something different. The world may see achievements, awards, popularity, success. But parents often still see the child they raised, the kid who worked hard, the person who struggled, the human behind the accomplishments. Which is why the idea of Jimin's father quietly preparing something meaningful, even if small, feels emotional to fans. Because it sounds believable in the most human way. Not extravagant, not performative, just thoughtful. Imagine arriving back in Busan after intense overseas schedules, the emotional weight of performing, the exhaustion of constant movement, the pressure of expectations, then walking into a familiar place, the smell of coffee, familiar voices, warm lighting, people who are happy to see you, not because of fame, but because you are you. That feeling matters. And fans understand this because Jimin himself has often spoken about sincerity. Throughout the years, he's repeatedly shown appreciation towards people around him, towards fans, towards members, towards those who support him. There's often a quiet, emotional honesty in the way he communicates, a softness that fans recognize immediately. It's part of why so many people feel emotionally connected to him, not only because of talent, but because of humanity. And perhaps that humanity is exactly why stories connected to his hometown resonate so deeply. Because despite extraordinary success, the emotional image remains simple: a son returning home, a father feeling proud, a familiar space waiting. Sometimes the smallest gestures become the biggest expressions of love. A favorite drink ready before someone asks, a dessert prepared carefully, a quiet conversation after a long journey. No cameras, no headlines, just family. That possibility feels meaningful precisely because it's ordinary, and ordinary moments can feel extraordinary when life becomes overwhelmingly busy. For ARMY who have visited the cafe, many describe sensing that warmth even as outsiders. Some remember staff kindness, others remember seeing gifts carefully displayed. Many talk about how personal the environment feels compared to typical tourist locations. There's care in the details, and details matter, especially to fans who have supported Jimin for years, because support itself has always been emotional. ARMY has celebrated victories, shared difficult moments, watched growth happen in real time, seen struggles, seen triumphs, and through all of it, one thing has remained consistent. People want Jimin to be happy, truly happy, not just successful, not just praised, happy, healthy, rested, at peace. That's why the idea of a meaningful welcome after America schedules feels touching to fans. It symbolizes rest, safety, belonging, things every person needs, even global stars, especially global stars. Because behind all the achievements exists a real person carrying enormous pressure. And while fans may never know what truly happens behind private doors, they often hope for one thing: that Jimin has people around him who remind him he doesn't always need to carry everything alone. Family can be grounding like that, a reminder of identity, a reminder of where everything started, a reminder that someone loves you whether the world applauds or not. And maybe Busan will always represent that feeling for Jimin, a city full of memory, a place untouched by the noise of constant attention, a reminder that before fame, there was simply life, simple moments, quiet dreams, family support. And perhaps somewhere inside the cafe, there are already little signs of anticipation. Nothing dramatic, nothing confirmed, maybe just extra care and preparation, a hopeful atmosphere, the quiet excitement that comes whenever someone beloved might return. Or perhaps not. Perhaps things remain exactly as they always are: warm, welcoming, steady. And somehow, maybe that's even more beautiful. Because home doesn't need preparation. Sometimes, home is simply waiting, exactly as you left it, ready whenever you return. Sometimes the stories that touch people most are not the loudest ones, not headlines about records, not major announcements, not moments filled with flashing cameras. Sometimes, the most meaningful stories are the quiet ones, the ones centered around love, family, and the simple idea of coming home. That may be exactly why recent conversations surrounding a possible heartfelt welcome for Jimin after the Arirang tour in America have resonated so strongly with fans. Because at its core, this isn't really a story about celebrity life. It's a story about something deeply